He's come to coon for you, dear Massa. We hope you like how black we act now. Sit back and enjoy. We'll coon for you. We'll coon for you. We'll coon for you. We'll coon for you.
It's minstrelsy is the first American entertainment form created here. A minstrel, a man who was on his travels through the South, a guy named Thomas Rice, walked along a plantation and saw during the middle of the day this slave, this very happy-go-lucky slave, singing a song and playing a banjo. So he created the character of Jim Crow. He did, and he created a song called Jumping Jim Crow, which is supposed to emulate this slave he had seen, where he did a little ditty, a little dance, and he came up with the idea of darkening his skin by using burnt cork, actually burning it in a fire, and the charcoal end would be used to darken his skin. He would use white paint to accentuate his lips, and he would put on gloves to cover up his hands, and a curly wig to accentuate, the black goat hair of a black person.
I think part of the challenge that we're faced with right now is that because my generation wasn't taught this in school, because we don't talk about the subject that often, this knowledge even that Gary's speaking about where these stereotypes come from, we're not as aware of it unless we actually seek out this information. And when we're not aware of it, we see it, and we not only accept it, but we actually embody that. We actually adopt certain characteristics that were developed through the minstrel show.
I think Kris is right too. I think we lost a generation because we stopped talking about this stuff. It wasn't acceptable to talk about. It was difficult to talk about, and so we lost that black cultural awareness that we had.
I think when you look at how times are going, sometimes you think times are getting worse, and I think the more you keep these types of things away from young people coming up, keeping from the generation, I think the more shocking the news can become.
If you listen to the explanations, the justifications for why Trayvon Martin was killed, why Eric Gardner was killed, or Michael Brown was killed, they're relatively the same, and they all come from a perception of black men, physically intimidating black men, being a threat to white people exclusively. And that no matter whether you have the authority of a badge or you are carrying a weapon, you are still in danger of a black man enraged. And the justification for them killing those men is always based on the perception that they are a threat. That threat comes from the idea of a stereotype that was developed, perpetuated through film and television and plays that were inspired by minstrelsy. Since Kris wanted to try to depict the stereotypes that came out of minstrelsy in a performance style, what we did is instead we created a fictional piece that used those characters and those stereotypes in how we told a story. So there was a man who became a minstrel performer named Jim Crow and bought into all the notions of what it meant to be successful in that regard. In fact, denigrating and also excluding himself away from his own people. And then we watched how that eventually ate on him and what that did to him personally and professionally. And the play kind of shows where he comes to a point where he has to realize that his actions, both on stage and off, are destructive not only to himself but to his people. And he has to make a choice about whether he's going to continue to coon, for lack of a better term.
It's more than a composition. It's really about the story. And what I found even in my own personal life is that it became a story of not only of minstrelsy, not only of blackface, not only of Lucius and Jim Crow, but it was more of a story of personal freedom.
Right.
More of a story of personal exploration and self-discovery and learning how to find freedom. I was preaching to myself through the music. Even whether I thought about minstrelsy or whether I didn't, I really found that I was able to talk to myself and guide myself through any personal struggles that I was having. And this piece was very important at that part involved.
What I appreciated about the score is that it was complex, but to the listener, it's easy to listen to. And they leave knowing music, knowing melodies, and also the music brings out very clearly this conflict that Jim Crow is going through, right? I'm happy doing this one day, but is this really me? And the music really depicts that very well. I mean, even from the contrast from strings to brass to percussion, even the different chords he uses, measure after measure, I mean, it really comes across quite nicely.
Artistically and musically and instrumentally, there's so many things happening on the stage. And we're trying to get out one idea. And a lot of times it's not cool to play oboe or to play clarinet or to play flute. But to be able to express yourself musically, we need all of these things. Mm-hmm. If it were cooler to play our instruments sometimes, then we won't be looked at as all we listen to is rap. Or all we listen to is R&B music, and we just all wear, hip-hop clothes. Like, I play classical music, and this is the way that I want to say what I have to say, and this is the way that I'm expressing what's important to me. And not only is it important for me to express it like this, but I need this man next to me too. And we all need to come together to say what we need to say. Without coming together, we're all going to say the same thing different ways and not get anything accomplished.
It's important that we're aware, and I think as artists it's important that we speak out and we talk about things that are important to us, and that we use this gift that we've been given as a way to bring people to a better understanding about certain cultural issues, and also to make people reflect on their own behavior or things that they believe or things that they support, and really to challenge that and realize, no, we can't accept this. This is not black culture. This isn't true. This is something that was fabricated that we have adopted, and it has to stop. It has to stop right now.
No more minstrelsy, no more lies for me, no more of this blackface, no more of this disgrace. We can't forget our past, we must be steadfast, we have to be strong, we come so very long. Rise up and fix this mess, don't allow us to regress. Learn from yesterday, we can't live this way.